Hello, everyone, and happy almost Independence Day. I hope that you guys are all celebrating super well, barbecuing, and just celebrating the season, praying for safety over your fireworks and all that good jazz, because it is a day to be celebrated. So today I'm going to do real quick, just a quick video on freedom in trading, why I think that financial security, financial freedom is achieved best through literally just trading and investing. But without further ado, of course, I've got to pop around to say, hey, don't forget our handy dandy disclaimer that says everything we talk about on these calls is high risk. It's not guaranteed. All the disclaimer stuff. You already know that. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jenny Baker and I am with Six Figure Trading Coach. And what you saw just now was actually just a real quick, I'm kind of cleaning up for the first part of the year of what we've accomplished thus far. So this being now the beginning of July, this year alone, we've got over 208,000 pips live. And that's about 89% accuracy. We've had some pretty low weeks, actually, to be transparent. But again, overall, it's not about making money every day. This isn't a job. This is not, the employment or employee mindset, as people say. This isn't a business. This is investing. You're going to have that ebb and flow. But in that process, we've started a brand new community. We've got quite a few new algorithms that are coming out. We've got a couple of really cool tools, as well as some, I guess we call it groupware, that comes with any of the community memberships, as well as a new scanner that was sponsored, I think is the right word, by one of the gentlemen in the group. Great guy, has a trade manager that is second to none. I use that for everything manual that I do. But needless to say, that's all part of the community. In the last 6 months, we've got over 208,000 pips. And I'm going to go over real quick what that actually equals here in just a little while and kind of show you a little bit in terms of our spreadsheet and our log of how we keep track. But most importantly, we've had a lot of people who have finally hit their six figures. We've had a lot of people who are passing funded account challenges, some of them trading and investing with over 6 and even 7 figures. One person in particular has really just mastered the art of connecting all those funded account challenges, and I'm really excited to get the chance to work with him specifically and hopefully help bring that knowledge to the community. But in our community, we're doing something. It is, still not perfect. It's nowhere near always where we want it to be, but I am excited. So without further ado, let's real quick go over what this video is supposed to be about, right? Just real quick to show you my thought, and please don't judge any typos. I'm sure there's 1,000 of them. But investing and trading, to me, for all the different business models I've done, and keep in mind, I've been in business for myself since I was 19. I knew I was going to be a bajillionaire. I didn't know how. I've done pretty much every company and comp plan and thing under the sun. Done in real estate, done travel companies, done so many things, and I've had some success at them. I typically never walked away until I was at least in the black, right? Even from candles when I was much younger. I kid you not, I still have many of that brand of candle in my house because I still, to this day, made way more candles than I ever did money. But with trading and investing, it's different, right? This is 100% yours. It's not like buying a McDonald's franchise, building a brick and mortar business. There are so many reasons why I think trading and investing is one of the best vehicles for financial freedom. So without kind of going over just a little bit, I'm going to go over, I should say, each and every one of these. So first and foremost, obviously, you don't need any experience. You don't need to know it all. In fact, I feel like the people who have been around 20, 30 years in the stock market and they come to my community and they look at this like, hey, this little girl is figuring it out. I've been at this for 20 years and I didn't. And it's not in any shape, way, or form because I'm better or more knowledgeable or anything like that. It typically has more to do with that kind of over-analysis paralysis kind of thing. So when I say you need no experience, I mean, if you're brand new to the industry, babypips.com has a ton of free information. Don't spend a dime with anybody ever at all, not me, not anyone, and just start there. Start with the demo account. There's a few links in my bio in the link tree. Pick any of those brokers, go with the demo account, and go to babypips.com and just start to play around a little bit. But you don't need anything. You don't need to have went to a top university. You don't need anything from Stanford or Harvard. You don't need a whole bunch of things, and you sure as heck don't need to spend 20 grand, 5 grand, 15 grand, $900 a month on signals from such and such group to figure this out. I do suggest a community when the time comes. Pick one. Doesn't have to be mine, but pick one place where you feel like you understand the information and the educators, and then that's it. Otherwise, you have access to 100% of this. Everyone does. Well, most brokers say you have to be 18. I should put that caveat in there. Next, obviously, is less time, right? People spend 8 hours a day at work, overtime, what is that, commuting time to and from work, stuck in traffic, lunch breaks, and the whole nine. yes, this is going to take you some time to figure out how to do this. It's going to, there's a learning curve. Yours might be shorter or longer than others, but you can spend so little time. And I'm going to show you that on the next page, actually, how little time it actually takes to make money in these markets. That means less hours at work. That means less years to retirement, especially if you're trading your own 401ks and investment policies rather than giving it to this big firm. They're getting their 50 and 10 and 20 and 100% and 3%, and they're giving you 1. They're giving you 6, 7% in a year, or whatever, 13, 14% in a year, and then they're matching by this amount. But you could be making that in a week, in a month, and in a couple of months, and keeping all of that. No fees, no this and that. Well, less fees, I should say. Different structure. I'm not going to go too deep into that. But in essence, less time, right? Next on my list is location independent, right? That stands for digital nomad, remote worker. Didn't want to type it all out. That is the new rage, right? All these teeny boppers, I'm probably not allowed to say that, but I don't know. This younger generation has a lot more of appreciation for not being chained to an office, even if it's their dream job. Like they want to be able to go to Costa Rica for a few weeks and do their dream job. And they realize that their purpose might lie outside of their career path. And with that in mind, being a digital nomad, being able to work remotely opens doors that literally are life-changing, because you can literally do this from anywhere in the world with a Wi-Fi, smartphone, or laptop. I am the girl that kind of advises against the smartphone investing. I personally think you should still treat it like a business, and there's certain tools that are only accessible via your laptop. Now, granted, once you, again, get established, you can have a VPS, and that allows you to kind of link in from your cell phone to your VPS. That kind of allows those tools to be running on your laptop and VPS even while you're traveling abroad. You just check it from your phone. That's always an option, and some people do trade profitably from their phones. Personally, I still think you need the laptop. That's my 2 cents, though. I am not the only voice of authority on that. There's a lot of multi 6, 7, and 8-figure traders who literally just use their phones. So next on our list is diversification. I know you guys, for any of y'all who follow like all the financial gurus and everything, what do they say? What's one of the biggest things they say is most millionaires have like 7 or 8 or 9 streams of income. This can be one of those. So for me, trading and investing, and notice I am saying those two differently because they are different. Learning how to trade specifically and or investing specifically, independent of each other, are 2 different ways. But also, there's so many ways to diversify in this market. You can trade foreign exchange. That means one currency against another. You can trade cryptocurrencies. You can trade stocks. You can do penny stuff. You can do all kinds of things once you learn the skill set, particularly of either fundamentals or technical analysis. You have so many opportunities. You can trade in different instruments, different markets, different brokers, different firms, different leverages, different margins. So you have so many different vehicles in this one little niche to make a boatload of money that it's insane. So it's complete diversification, in my opinion. You have the capacity to be completely diversified, which if you have only your full-time job, you have 0% diversification and 0% security. 0. But that's my 2 cents. So all of this to me equals what? We know that investing or trading has a way higher overall income potential. So again, your bank is giving you 1%, and some of them are getting a little smarter. They're saying, hey, we're going to give you 3%. If you lock your money here for 6 months, we're going to give you 5 and even whatever percent. Those emails are coming in, right? But you got to put $25,000 in to get the 5%. It's completely insane. They're taking that money and they're making a boatload of money on your money. Whereas you can take your same money instead of keeping it there, and you can make 5% in a month without a lot of risk. You can make your 5%. Some people do hundreds of percent even in a day. You have no idea what's possible. Obviously, the safer, slower stuff on your bigger accounts or more professional accounts, they're not targeting that much. But still, you have the capacity to make way higher potential than any firm. If you're managing your own, again, back to the retirement funds, your investment funds, versus letting somebody else do it, you have the potential to way outperform even Warren Buffett's portfolio because you have access to all this stuff and most people don't even know about it. So next on our list is control. I was going to write more on this, totally spaced that. Whoops. But control. Control over your time, control over your finances, control over your location. I was typing this in really as all of this. And as you can see, I'm kind of trying to paint this path for you. And that's my goal here, is to paint a path that says you have control over everything. You have control over how much you risk. You have control over how much you earn. You have control over how much you work. You have control over where you work. You have control over which brokers you use and how much you invest. Once you have the skill, you have the ability, and the double-edged sword of that is you also have the responsibility, right? The ownership of the decisions you make, but you do have the availability to be in complete control of the decisions you make. And that also obviously has the responsibility and the ownership of it. A lot of people don't like that side, but you'd be surprised what's possible when we can own that. So, and last but not least, before we get to the whole sum up of this whole little nice thingy, is what? Peace and personal growth. In the years I've been doing this, I've got the opportunity of working with some incredible people. Some have come and gone. We know our community is a great community because even the people who kind of take a step back, they end up coming back after a few years, and or they just missed the people, or they knew that this was it. But in these years of all the people I've got to know from all around the world, and I'm talking deep, meaningful friendships, even the remote ones, even the online ones, one of the biggest things I think we talk about is personal growth. This industry, I think more than a business in general, sure, but this industry, more than most other jobs and things, it shows you so much about who you are. It's going to take your darkest parts and your oopses and your kryptonites, all of those things, and it's going to put it front and center. And the blessing in that is if we're willing to face those parts of ourselves and grow beyond the parts of ourselves and evolve and learn and improve, we have, the world is our oyster. We have endless potential. But a long time ago, one of the business gurus I followed said, quote, something along the lines of, your money will only grow as much as you do. And man, I took that and I ran with it because I decided, hey, I was going to learn everything I could about everything I could. And I flow through that. I back off every now and then. But yeah, definitely. That's another thing that you're going to get from learning how to day trade and or invest. So it's just personal growth, peace of mind. Peace of mind you cannot buy anywhere else. And all of this, my friends, equals what? Freedom. Freedom to me is such an interesting word. So July 4th is tomorrow. It has a significance to my family as well as other things, I know, to the country. But man, if we look back over the last couple of hundred years in our nation and we just look around, freedom really has a new meaning to every culture, to every race, to every part of the world anymore. It's so deeply ingrained in us at this point. The desire to make our own choices, the desire to live and pave our own ways. And we all know money is not everything. I'm not the person who's going to tell you that, hey, go make a whole boatload of money so you can buy a Maserati and put that all over YouTube and sell you a bridge in Brooklyn kind of thing. I'm the person who says, get the skill and buy back your time. Get the skill and buy back your choices and your freedom. You don't need another Gucci belt. You don't need the Maserati. If your car is working, it's working, right? It's fine. How about some freedom to travel? And yes, if you value the car, go get your car. How about the freedom to say, hey, I really want to be closer to somebody I care about, and now I can move there. I can live there. I can work there. How about the freedom to not be emotionally and, entrapped with our bosses and our location that maybe we didn't love, but we were born there or we got stuck there. There's so much that goes into the word freedom. And yeah, it's financial. Yeah, it's time. It's location. It's emotional. It's all of those. That, to me, is what this industry is about, is that peace of mind and the freedom. The pips and the money, they come and go. It's a blessing for sure, without a doubt. But I hope. I know, unfortunately, a lot of the people on my YouTube are mostly already all trading. But if this happens to fall on eyes who have never traded before and you're curious and you're interested, please do check the link tree. Again, don't pay money to me or to anybody else. Instead, go to babypips.com. It's completely free. It's all the information you're going to need to at least learn the jargon and the little bits. It's not perfect. No company, no website, no educational platform is perfect, but it's free and it's a really well organized one. So start there. In my link tree is a couple of brokers. You can pick any one of those. I need to update it again because I've got quite a few brokers I work with. But pick any one of them. Again, no monies. Use a demo account. We call that paper trading. And go start to play a little bit. Go start to experience this industry so you can get an opportunity to see what this might taste like. You'll see the downs too. You'll see, holy cow, it's really easy to risk it all. Holy cow, it's really easy to make a lot, but it's whole way easy to lose a lot too. But there's so much to gain in that. So that's my 2 cents on freedom. Before I pop off of here, this is how we closed out that first part of the year, that first 6 months. 89% accuracy. Man, I was going for 90. but I didn't hit it. We had a couple of slow, low, rough months. I'm not going to fib. So is what it is. But none of those months were negative. Oh, actually, one of them, I think we had a losing week. But anyways, we'll go look at that here in a second. What does 2,000 pips actually equal? Now, I want to get out a calculator because pip is a pip is a pip. A pip is a point, blah, blah, blah. Pip is a portion of a point. It's a percentage of movement in the market. That's what this is, right? But it also has a dollar value. The majority of the pips you're about to see on this spreadsheet is worth about $1 based off of the particular broker we're using, based off of the particular pairs we're trading. Now, granted, some brokers that might be worth $10 as a minimum, some brokers that might be worth 10 cents as a minimum, but for the most part, across the board, this is about $1 a pip on the index funds we're trading and on the broker that we're particularly referencing. Again, based off the kind of money and the size of money you're making or you're investing with, that might be more or less. But if you guys can do that math, I don't do math in public too much, but to show you, 200,000 pips at $1 a pip is what? That's $200,000 in a very, very short amount of time, in 6 months. Only following the trades we did live in a class on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. That's not including the rest of the time the market was moving. That's not including trades you took on your own. That's not including the skills you're learning on your own, but just access to those and those alone. We spend, we've kind of backed off a little bit. I think we valued our time a little bit more, but we average out to be like 1 and 3 hours. If the conversation is really good and it's really stimulating, we just leave the Zoom open and we hang out for a while. If we're just looking for some trades and people are just in a lull, cool, we hop off. But in general, that's about an hour a week, an hour Tuesday and an hour on Thursday. Typically, it's like 20 and 30 minutes of trade time, but we're going to round up to an hour twice a week. It's 2 hours. So that's 52 hours in total. What that equals per hour, you guys, is over $4,000 an hour. $4,000 an hour is what that's worth. Now, because I'm also a realist, yes, my head is in the clouds, very, 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 very far away, but my feet are still planted well on this earth. So because I'm a realist, even though an optimistic kind of positive forward-thinking one, let's talk about the failure equation. Let's talk about if you missed some classes, if you over-leveraged, if you made mistakes you didn't know about because you're new, and we're all superhuman, so we all make them all the time. Even if you failed at this by 50%, you're still looking at $100,000. Even if you failed at this by 75%, you're still making more than most people do with like a BA or a master's degree. You're still making more in a couple of months for like an hour or two a week than most people do working 40 to 50 hours a week in a year. Just something to really, I pray you really, really dwell in on. So I'm going to show you this real quick. I think this was 2002. We ended the year at 87% accuracy and over 485,000 pips live. That's what we got on 2002. So you guys can see down here that this is our Six-Figure Trading Coach 2023 trade journal so far. You guys can see that's over 208,000 pips in the year. Month of June closed out with 17,000. It was a slow month. 1 week I only took one trade, missed these two. They never activated. 1 week up here we did take a loss, I think. This week. There you go. Not always, again, this is not meant to be perfect. That month we only ended up with 12,000 pips. Some months we end up with a whole bunch, right? This is real trading. Whole bunch of real trading. This is where we're at for 2023 thus far. I want you to really pay attention to this part over here. So on average, that year-to-date accuracy is about 89%. On average, and remember, this is really going to come out in the wash a lot because some of these are indexes and some of these are Forex pairs. So that's really a dynamic difference, right? 12 pips versus 1,100 pips. That's a huge difference. But still, we're averaging a win-to-loss ratio of about 2.3 to 1. That's not a bad way to be. I'm assuming if we actually factored these and had a better algorithm in place, like spreadsheet-wise, we'd probably be a little bit closer to a 3 to 1. But I'm not going to go there. There's no need, really. 87%. This is how many weeks we've been at this. That's, again, about 2 hours a week. Let's talk about the value of that. So we talked about minimum, right? The minimum amount, because some brokers do allow micro lots on the index funds. Not a lot of them do, but some of them do. That means you still made over $20,000 in 2 hours a week for 6 months. Not a bad way to be. This right here is what we're typically using. That's about $208,000. And of course, it goes from there. The standard lot size on most of these brokers, not on index funds particularly, is $10. This is standard, to give you guys an idea. This is one standard lot. Index fund, this is absolute insanity. This is $100. But I wanted you to get a chance to see what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. Of course, as always, if you have questions, comments, and all that good jazz, please feel welcome to put them on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who's been helping this channel and community grow. I'm really excited for the different people and partnerships and collaborations that are popping up. Never really intended to go necessarily this route, but I'm honored, and I definitely am excited about making an impact in this industry and making an impact in people's lives. So as always, please like, comment, and subscribe and all the stuff that makes YouTube happy. If you have questions or comments, put them in the chat. If there's a particular topic or lesson you want me to go over, I don't find myself or fancy myself to be some profound educator. I just happen to be good at this industry. So if there's something that maybe I have a unique way of seeing and you want my take on it, please make sure you post that below, and then my team will get back to me and you, and we'll create a little list of, okay, she's going to make this video next. Okay, she's going to make this video next, and then go from there. So if you are in the community, please make sure you're posting screenshots. Thank you so much. Last week, we had quite a few people who made lots of money, and I'm very excited for them. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a beautiful 4th of July. Tomorrow is one of the first Tuesdays in a very long time. But I'm literally not going to have a class, not going to go live, and all of it. So I hope you guys have a beautiful 4th of July. Take care, celebrate, and God bless.